And after that report from Wangiga in Kiambu County, we now go back to State House Nairobi to get more on the housing fund.
We have been going out to the market and getting about 1.8 trillion in, as we speak now. If we were to go back to the market, how much would it have cost to achieve these projects? Number two, there's a time I remember, again, at one of the functions, you spoke about regulating rental charges in the country to be able to sort of remove that pressure in terms of get a number of people who can pay a little more away from the slums. How far are you with us? Have you gone with that? Now, the next question is on the issue of the 7 years. Now, what happens after 7 years? I've been contributing for 7 years. I want to get my money out. What happens after that? Do I still get to contribute afresh? And if it's, again, we've seen this trend where you have been contributing, for instance, NSSF, but then when you go to get to collect your money, it becomes another nightmare because of the bureaucracy in government. And also the status of the housing market. A lot of developers are saying just make the market make it a bit sustainable for us. Make sure that you zero rate, let's say, some of these materials, and we'll be able to put out those affordable housing. So what's happening around that?
My name is Elvis Omondi from Biblia Usema Broadcasting, and
from
Biblia Usema Broadcasting.
Biblia.
Yes, I have two questions. One pertaining to the closest we have to affordable housing units is high rise near Kibra, and when you look at high rise, the most prospering business apart from food is water and honeysuckers. This is because the infrastructure there was not considered, and most of the people who would want to buy these affordable housing units are questioning, will I buy this unit and live in a place where I still buy water to flush my toilet, or where I still have to pay service charge to get my toilet, honeysuckers to get out there? And my second question is on the 7 years. You've explained a lot the nitty-gritty of this project, but I still don't understand. What is the science behind 7 years? Why not 8? Why not 3? What is the science behind this 7 years?
Let's give another person a chance behind there, then we answer those.
Good afternoon. My name is Fred Muli, Sango FM, Kamba Radio Station. I have only one question.
Sorry, Muli from?
Sango FM. Yes.
Sango.
With the kind of resistance the project is getting from the citizens and also from the other side of political view, does the government have any plans to sensitize on the same project?
Thank you very much. Very good questions. Chemutai, social housing, New York, subsidized for rental. Our plan, 91% of Kenyans in Nairobi, they rent today. 91%, that's our statistic in 2017. So I'm sure it's probably more. Our plan is to subsidize the rent, but through a rent-to-own structure. Okay? That is our plan. And that is why we are saying you will get a home for 5,000 shillings. You will get a home for 10,000 shillings under the affordable housing program at 15,000 shillings. If you're in the social housing, you will pay 2,500 for one-roomed house. You will pay 4,500 for a two-roomed house, and you will pay 6,500 for a three-roomed house. But that house, you will rent and you will own. The question that we get is, why own? And we ask the question, do Kenyans rent because they like to rent, or they rent because they cannot afford to own? And as I said, it's a dialogue, and I'm sure you have the answer. 2 billion. First of all, the 1.5 we never collected. So that's the first fact. The 2 billion that was saved is slightly less. That's what I talked about, the 1.8 billion. Is still in our bank account at KCB. it is still available. And the people who saved there, because the criteria for allocation, because I'm surprised nobody has asked, it is what we call fast past the gate. What is fast past the gate? One, you must have raised 10% deposit for that unit. Number two, there is, you must go to Boma Yangu and you must fill in. There's certain information that we need. And luckily with the e-citizen, I don't need to ask for your marriage certificate. I don't need to ask for your birth certificate, because all those things we now are going to integrate with them. So you just register and then you start saving. *823#. That is the beginning of that journey. So those who have that 2 billion, and it is their money, that is voluntary. Okay, majority of them have said, I don't want to take that money out, because now that I see Starehe is coming up, I want to be fast past the gate. Okay. What has been launched? We can provide you through, I'm sure you through your WhatsApp group, we can be able to provide you with an update. But as Hussein said, it's 36 years.
36,000.
36,000. That is under construction, because please, let's understand, construction takes time. So even when we say 200,000, we are saying we will start 200,000 projects, units. Okay, so by the time you start saying you're finishing, maybe give us a headroom of about 2-3 years. So now the first 200 are coming up, and then thereafter you can say there is consistent coming in. But when you're starting from a base of zero, you have to build them. And because a lot of people, the same friends of ours who you invite there, they like to take cheap shots. That akina Hinga watajenga nyumba in one day. What is it? How soon can I get that? The list? Huh?
It was just about if you opt in now, if the finance bill goes through,
yes.
How soon can one?
There is construction that is already going on. So already, please, and we are telling you, just start the journey today. Go and *832#, start saving your money, and as soon as those units are complete, and continue saving. And remember, the 1,000 is the minimum, or the 2,500, that's the minimum. The more you save, the more it means when the deposit is required, you will have it. So we're just saying, put the kidogo ile amount, which is our off-take plan, but please save as much as possible. Imagine downjimwagilia sasa. Mushiri, NTV, I have no clue about what you've spoken about. That is a private project. I do not have any information. I've heard from you for the first time. So allow me not to comment on something that I have no idea about. Thank you. Jim Bogo, I know you interviewed me once. I think you were at K24 then. Good. KCC. In the Jubilee government, our plan was 500,000 homes at an average of about 2 million plus. It was coming to that 1.4 trillion shillings. Now, with Kenya Kwanza, our plan is 1 million units in the next 5 years. So just double that and add a little bit of a factor, because when we were doing that, steel was still very low. Now it has gone up. But we're doing it via PPP. So we're not borrowing the money. We're not borrowing the money. We are doing what you do every other place. We changa, and we build these houses. And we get other people to bring their money to build. Please don't forget about that, because this will attract foreign money to come into this country. And please, you don't need to be an economist to understand this. This is common sense economics. Hii ingine ni story tu. Regulating rental charges. There is a landlord and tenants bill that is before Parliament. It was sent back up. It addresses some of these issues about the regulation of tenants. So it is still a bill, and we hope, because now there is goodwill, it's one of the bills that we can be able to get completed. 7 years, very good question. What happens? You see, if you have not retired, 7 years is an event where you can opt to take out your money. You can opt to transfer that money to your pension. You can opt to transfer that money to your kijana or your msichana. You can even bequeath it to your house help, because amekusaidia kulea watoto, unasema wacha wewe, mimi niko na nyumba, wacha nikupatie. it is absolutely your money. But if you have not yet retired, you continue. But you have an exit at that point. Okay? So you contribute afresh. Collection is an issue. Okay, I think you asked about when it comes to... Yes. You collect, okay, yes, collection of your money, so you want to exit. So first of all, let's put some context into place. Number one, it is our desire that you get a unit as opposed to getting that money back. Why? Because even if you own a home today, as I said, and you get a unit that is 60% discounted, it is good investment decision. So, but if you have to take it out, let me put context to you. 2,500 a month in 7 years is only 210,000. That's what I need to pay you in 7 years. 210,000. So it's not millions that you'll have saved. It's 210. For average Kenyan who is going to be contributing 1,000 shillings and below, that is 84,000. Okay? So, and that's why we are saying let's put context. You see, 210 that you want to take out in that place versus getting a unit that is 60% subsidized. The idea is to incentivize you to get it. But however, if you want to get it out, you will get out your portion. The employer portion stays in. Because the employer portion is the one that protects the capital of the fund. So that if now there are obligations for the fund, we are supposed to keep those that kind of money. But after 14 years, you can now exit your employer portion as well, or if you die. So, but if you die or retire, you get both. The employer portion and your portion. But if you want to exit, at the very least, I give you back what you've saved. Status zero rate. What is this? What you asked about zero rate?
Construction.
Yeah, so we have zero rated VAT. That's the most expensive issue that we have because VAT in our sector is a real cost. And as I said, our railway development levy, income what do you call this? Import declaration, whatever, is also lower. And also when for the developer, and maybe some of you are developers, if you develop 100 units and below, you pay tax at 15% as opposed to 30%. Elvis. So closest to AHP is high rise. That's what you're saying. But I say no. The closest to AHP is Park Road. Please. I have just given you the details about Park Road. Hapo high rise, hawana fiber huko ndani. Huko Park Road, huyo shusha anaishi mahali kuna park. Kuna CCTV. Akona maji ndani ya nyumba. They have boreholes. Plus they have electricity, they have emergency generator. My friend, you don't associate those things, amenities, with those kind of houses. So please, let's use the right base to compare. And you put a very good point, which I forgot to say. You will pay service charge. Let me tell you, service charge is important because that is your house. You see, the conversation is owners. Service, you will form your own body corporate. Iyo, Park Road body corporate, ile ingine, Starehe body corporate. Nyinyi wenyewe, you will have to pay service charge so that you are able to maintain those lifts. Otherwise, my friend, utaenda 18 floors. Itakuwa ni shida. Muli, spot on. The resistance. And let me tell you, and that is why I am so happy that we're having this conversation with yourselves. And after this, we are hitting the ground so hard because we believe, and you can see this is a very difficult job, by the way, let me tell you. It's very difficult. To get this thing off the ground is very difficult. You must be a believer in this thing. And our president is a believer in this. That's why his DNA there is housing. It's because he knows what we need to do. But let me tell you, we have a good product. What I have shown you here in this detail, this is a good product where you are told instead of paying 7.6, pay 3. Instead of paying 15% interest, pay 5. Instead of paying 10 years and you pay 111,000, pay 19,000. It is a good plan. Our biggest challenge, and this is where, because you are Kenyans too, and I know majority of you here, and I wish that you in the fourth estate could be the first people that buy these houses, because you become better evangelists on our behalf, and you're Kenyans too. So let me tell you what we need. We need to do is, yes, please, let's disagree where we have to disagree, but let's not beat this thing so hard that you want to have it fail. Because if it fails, we have not sorted out the economics of the country. We have not sorted out the housing issue. We have not sorted out the urbanization issue. So this is a conversation that we should be able to look at each other in the eyes and say, watu wanatuambia ni shilingi 1,000. Hiyo mimi nimekubali. Wacha niweke hiyo 1,000. If you're going to guarantee me we're going to stop these slums from coming up. If I'm going to have a decent home. So our biggest challenge as government, wacha niwaambie secret, is that there's so many good things that we do. We have no good capacity to be able to tell the public about it. And so we get defined by the bad ones. Ile sukari sijui ilikuwa sijui ilifanya nini. Sasa watu wengi wanafikiria mambo ya sukari ambayo sijui ilikuwa ime nini. That's what you think. Government is synonymous to scandals. But there's so many good things that we are doing. And that's why, please, if you believe the plan is good, we want you to also become our ambassadors. We are going to do serious public participation everywhere in this country, in every channel, so that the resistance can go down. After that interview on Spice FM, I can tell you, a lot of people said, I understand. After Hussein said it's 2,500, pressure ikakuja chini. When the president explained to the Kenya Kwanza MPs yesterday, it is only 2,500 maximum. Pressure ikaisha kwa sababu walikuwa nadhani watakato 300,000. So let's communicate and assistance and accuracy. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I'll just take 2 more questions from those who haven't spoken. So the 2 gentlemen there.
And we'll come in mkono kitambo. Na hapa huyu wacha okay so.
My name is Ezra, Ngemi FM, KBC. I want to get the simple mathematics about the Housing Development Fund. If you are planning to build 200,000 houses per year, each house may require 2.5 million. If you translate this, will be less than 500 billion per year. How are you able to raise the surplus amount? Then there's the issue of the 7-year. One, you want to opt out from the Housing Development Fund. In each fund, there must be some interest. The interest rate is very silent.